Hi, all. Good to see you all again. The last time we were together, I spoke about communication and how the communication between people actively on the program was helpful, supportive, it created greater consistency, weight loss, kept up. And what I'd like to talk about today is cravings, emotionality, and the fact that we are under constant stress and pressure. We can make things easy or we can make things difficult. The one thing that we cannot do is change our overall environment so that the stress goes away. So how we deal with the stress becomes an issue, because the more effective you are in dealing with the stress, the more happy you are with your life, the more in control you are, and because when you deal with stress effectively, you reduce the amount of cortisol that your body produces, and lo and behold, the weight loss is seen in a much more favorable way. The key here is, how important am I in my life? You see, if you're like me, when you get up in the morning, and let's just talk about me, I have a bucket list. I create the bucket list every single morning before I leave the house. What are the things that I'm going to do? And I have this list. And I have been noticing lately that the majority of things on my list are for other people. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just when most of the things on the list are for other people, it's possible to lose sight of yourself. I talk to you about many different things we can do, but the most important and strongest thing that we can do is the Qigong breathing. The problem with Qigong is that you need to take the time to do the Qigong. And it's an interesting kind of thing. I don't know about you, but I find that the significant majority of times, and I do the Qigong 2 or 3 times in the morning, 2 or 3 times in the afternoon, and every night before I go to bed. I don't know if you've noticed, but when you do the Qigong, there is absolutely nothing else that you can do. So everything in your world stops, because nothing else can take place, except for one thing. Little Charles, who lives inside me. I don't know about you, but he talks to me all the time. I've known him forever. What's good about him is he really cares about me. I have never, ever, ever heard anything from him that did not indicate that he loved me and he wanted me to be happy. He's very demanding sometimes, and it's hard to shut him off, because when he is needy, he goes on and on and on. Now, what do I mean by needy? When I'm angry, when I'm upset, when I'm bored, when I'm fearful, when I'm scared, whenever I am emotional, it upsets him, because he always worries that I'm not going to be happy, because the pressure of those things get to me, and he goes on and on. And for most of you, what he wants you to do is cheat. He wants you to go off the program. He wants you to have something that will make you feel good. And what's interesting is, in every single case that I listen to him and I go off, immediately he's quiet, he's happy. But I'm not. In almost every single case, I'm left with what I call residue: guilt, remorse, self-deprecation. Why did I do it? I did it again. Didn't I promise I wasn't going to do it? I broke my own promise. I didn't take care of myself. He's as happy as a lark. I'm not. And so one of the things I learned, and if you heard me a few moments ago, I do the Qigong the last thing when I lie down in bed, and it puts me to sleep. And the reason it puts me to sleep is because when I exhale, I'm blowing the air out of my mouth, I'm thinking, relax, relax. Oh, it feels so good. And I can go on for a very long time expelling the air through my mouth. In 95+% of the cases, in my experience, I'm asleep before I finish 4 Qigong breaths. And I did an experiment for 2 nights. I only did it 3 times. In through the nose, very, very slowly out through the mouth, and as it comes out through the mouth, thinking, relax, how good it feels. So relaxing. It feels so good. And the next thing I know, it's morning. Try the Qigong. Do it for yourself. And feed back to me.